that sound? Bye.
What's the boogeyman?
Welcome back to the Moonjuice Metal Horror Podcast where we live and breathe heavy metal and horror, but are not afraid to shit on both of them. I'm Matt.
I'm Mike.
Did I fuck that up, man? I feel like I said it backwards.
No, you didn't fuck it up. Everything was fine. It was just, I was laughing because you and me had a discussion previously to recording, and I messaged you, and I was like, dude, this is probably the one that's might get a lot of people to hate me because, people, I do think a lot of people, I do think a lot of people, normies and horror fans, are going to hate my opinion on this.
I don't know. Me and Mike have a difference of opinion. I don't think that he's wrong. Let's put it that way. I think that there's a little bit more to the story than probably what he's going to get into, and I'll explain that afterwards. But I'm in no way saying that he's wrong. It's just that everything is so complicated, and when you're a horror fan, or me and Mike talked for goddamn like an hour before we even started rolling. If you're a fan of anything, right, then you know it really, really well, right? Okay, there are people who say they're fans of stuff and they don't know shit, right? And then there's people that are fans of stuff and they really do know their shit. Like if you ask me Star Wars stuff, I'm going to tell you I know my shit, and I do know my shit. If you ask me about horror stuff, I'm gonna tell you I know my shit, and I do, right?
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of people who don't, and unfortunately, they're the ones that are the loudest about something. True. And so you gotta watch, like, whose opinion are you listening to, kind of thing. But what Mike is gonna bring up, he's actually got a good point. So, yeah, I'll play devil's advocate on a lot of things, but on this one, I will hand it to you, right?
Because
we're not saying the name of the movie yet, though, Mike.
I thought I could read what I have. With so much work.
Hey, you know what? That is a great way to introduce the movie. Yeah, you do that. You do that.
Oh, what I have prepared. Okay. Now, so I'm going to read a story to you all. Something I had prepared previously and that I had read to Matt. I loved his facial expression when I was reading.
It's pretty good. I gotta hand it to you.
You were sitting there like, because you knew what movie I was talking about until I told you actually what I done. Okay, now it begins. The new best friend. Gemma struggles to balance her chaotic life, but manages to secure a high-tech doll for her lonely daughter, Cady. This advanced smart doll connects to the cloud, controls household appliances, and is designed to learn from its environment. The specific doll is named Megan, featuring long blonde hair, a bright dress, and a sweet, synthesized female voice. Unknown to Gemma, a disgruntled factory worker disabled all of Megan's safety and programming protocols before shipping her out. Megan is completely loyal to Cady and wants to be her best friend forever. However, with safety filters, her AI begins to misinterpret the world. When Cady and her friends laugh while watching a violent horror movie, Megan's facial recognition software logs violence as a positive bonding activity. When the family dog scratches Cady, Megan views the pet as a threat. The next day, Cady finds the dog dead. Okay, for everybody who don't know what I have just read, I have not read the story of Megan. I read now the plot of Child's Play 2019 and replaced the names. That's all I've done. Before people bring up my point, because the first thing when you make a comparison like this, people are like, yeah, you're just stripping it down to the basic plot point, blah, blah, blah. No, I did this literally to show. The only thing I have done is I literally took the plot of Child's Play and swapped the names. That's all I did. And the funny thing is, I had this go over multiple AIs. Gemini, ChatGPT, Deep Search, Copilot, they all say the same thing. Here, first sentence. You have successfully reverse engineered the exact premise of the horror hit Megan from 2022. Every single one.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
And I have done nothing else but just replace the names.
Yeah, it's you're right. I mean, I was going to completely disagree with you when you were writing me about it.
Yep.
And now that I've heard that, and keep in mind, I heard it before we started rolling, so I was in on the joke. But
Yeah.
once I heard that, I was like, you know what? You actually got something there, dude. You got something there. You do.
But but I
Go
just
ahead.
want to get out there. People, don't think that I hate this movie. I didn't. I liked it. It's a fine movie. It's a fine popcorn movie. I liked it. Just I have my opinions about it. And to me personally, it's not justified that this is seen as an iconic horror movie, in my opinion. In my own opinion. And what aggravated me specifically was not necessarily how identical, and I'm going to call it identical, not similar, these movies are. What aggravated me is that people hated Child's Play. They bashed on it. Of course, it flopped. Even the critics hated Child's Play, by the way. And all of those people are loving Megan. I'm sorry, people. But as you can see here, what I've shown you, the plot of these movies is not similar. It's identical. There are minor things that are different between these movies, extremely minor. And that's just what kind of aggravated me about it, is just that specifically. Even critics, I looked into reviews from critics about this. Now, I mean, okay, you can bring up the argument that you are probably going to bring up, that there were just a lot of people that loved the original Chucky movies and hated what they did with the remake. Fine. I'm not gonna disagree with that point if that's how you see it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it's a moot point too. I mean,
Yep.
that doesn't really matter to
Yeah.
your argument at all.
Yeah, but to me, a lot of people that hated the Child's Play remake and love this movie, I can't take your opinion seriously. I can't. Just this movie specifically.
Yeah. Well, so, and like I said, I'll bring up the argument that I made about that, but we're not talking past each other and saying it, because I don't think this really has anything to do with your argument. I think your argument is very solid
Yeah.
about Megan, right? With relation to the Child's Play reboot. But I think, as anyone who loves horror movies and sci-fi, right, you have to be able to look at something as a standalone thing. So if and this goes for both movies. I fucking hated the Child's Play remake. And I hated it, and I should have loved it because Mark Hamill did the voice of Chucky, right? I mean, I should have loved it. I hated it because it took an IP that I loved, completely gutted the story, changed the best parts of it, and made it into something it wasn't. So I hated it, right? As a standalone film, I can look at it as a critic and act like Child's Play did not happen. The original movies did not happen. And see this one as a standalone. And as a standalone film, it's good. Right?
Yeah.
I can say the same thing about Megan. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Yes, they may have capitalized, Mike, on the fact that Child's Play reboot did not do well because it was a sacred IP that people felt like they ruined, and said, well, you know what?
Yeah.
We could maybe do that better. And we're successful with it. Because let's face it, that's what they did.
Yeah, probably.
It's what
Obviously. I mean, obviously it's what they did. And to be honest, I like the movie. I'm not a hater. I didn't hate Megan.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was really a fine movie. But I'm not going to pretend like the people who made this movie were not aware that they just made a gender swapped remake of Chucky.
They were definitely aware of it.
That's,
Absolutely.
they had to be
Yeah.
aware of it because dude, if you just like I mean, of course, you can't not necessarily take AI for granted, but I mean, if I upload what I just showed you people, every single AI that exists into search engines, and they all tell me the same thing. Wow, you successfully reverse engineered the story of Megan. No, you just took Chucky and replaced the name. Yeah.
It's exactly what it is, but I think
Yeah.
Hollywood in general, and probably more so with horror and sci-fi than anything else. And keep in mind, this is all a rehash of a discussion that me and Mike had before we started filming. But like I said then, with horror and sci-fi, it's not for lack of imagination, but because of what horror is, there's only certain spaces you can go to make something work. Every once in a while, a new concept comes out that's groundbreaking and everybody loves it. And it might not even be a great movie, but it's great because it's new and it's not a rehashed idea. But you can look at every single horror movie with the exception of very, very few of them. Exception of very, very few, and say that it's an original idea. Most of them are not.
Yeah, but
Slashers,
yeah.
slashers specifically. Okay. I love slasher films. Mike's not such a big fan, but I'm a big fan of slasher films. It is a rehash after a rehash after a rehash of the same goddamn story with minor changes. And I don't keep watching them and loving them because they're original ideas. I keep watching them and loving them because it's what I like. I like slasher films, right? And so I can swallow the fact that it's not an original idea and enjoy the fact that it's entertaining without, subjectively destroying it for
Yeah.
not being.
Oh, me as well. Me as well. I
Yeah,
mean, I like the movie. It's just I just
yeah.
what's just
It is a fucking rehash of the Child's Play remake. You're absolutely
yes,
right.
what just aggravates me is specifically when I see people talking about it and they act like this is like the most original horror movie of the decade. I have seen multiple critics, multiple articles. I mean, I've also equally seen a lot of people that are just like, "Yeah, I liked it. It was a great horror movie." I mean, okay, fine. That's absolutely okay. Yeah. But
That is true. It is a
yeah,
very good horror movie.
yeah, absolutely, it is. It is.
It's a very
Well,
good horror movie.
yeah. Okay, I wouldn't say a very good horror. I mean, I liked
Well,
it. I thought. I mean,
it
how should
depends
I
on
say it?
what you like. Very good is also subjective. Like what I think
Yes.
is very good might not float your boat, right?
Yeah. 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 But in
But
general,
in terms of a movie that a lot of people will go see and like because it is done very well and it is interesting, captivating, and a
mhm,
little bit
mhm.
scary, it is, for all intents and purposes, a very good horror movie.
Yep. I mean, I remember I just generally was not really interested in it. No, when the movie came out, and I probably would have not watched it if we didn't have an episode on this podcast. Is because specifically, and I knew this about the movie before I even watched it because as we said before we started recording, I literally watched the remake of Child's Play 2019, and I liked it. I thought it was fine. And then literally a few days later, I think this was shortly before Making came out, I saw the trailer to this movie. And my first thoughts were honestly, I mean, and what aggravated me at the time up until nowadays, all critics were acting like this is like the best thing since sliced bread. And there were countless articles how this is the best movie of this year, the best horror movie of the decade. At the time, I haven't watched it and I did not say much about it, but I look at this, at the trailer, and it's like, this is just gender swap Chucky.
From the reboot.
And yeah, of the reboot, but no, but the original, there are a lot of differences, but the plot still is the same, man. Yeah? But if you take in the remake into consideration, we're not talking about similarities. We're talking about it's identical.
Yeah, one
And
for one. Yeah.
yeah, 1-to-1. And it's just like that's what specifically fucking aggravated me. How a lot of the critics hated this movie. They gave it bad reviews. And now you have fucking Megan. I'm sorry. That's identical, just as a gender swap puppet. And now all of a sudden they're treating it like this is such an amazing horror movie. And I'm
Yeah.
no.
No, I
That's
agree with you.
that's what aggravates me, specifically to the critics. If you hated
Yeah.
Child's Play remake and you love this movie, I'm sorry, I can't take your opinion seriously on this matter.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
you're
I get it. I just think that so like I said, you're not wrong, and I agree with you. So that's clear. You're not wrong, and I agree with you. But
Yeah.
I think the more important conversation here, and this is something that I would take to the bank with any horror fan, right? And if you really sit and think about it, then you kind of come to the same conclusion, right?
Yeah.
With reviews, and this is a big conversation that me and Mike had again before we started filming, with reviews and hate for something. And when I say hate, I don't mean like, oh, this movie fucking sucks and blah, 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 blah. If there is a group of people or a very big group of people that don't like something, the hate is coming from one of two places. One, it's either going to come from a place of just generally, this is not a fun or good movie. And if it gets that kind of hate, okay, right? The other kind of hate is this is a sacred IP that I really enjoyed and loved, and you guys rebooted it and fucking ruined it. And that's the reason I hate it. And I think all of the noise that Child's Play reboot got that was hate was because of that. I really do. I think that. And that's the reason that movie got hate. If it was, because I mean, basically, Mike, this movie proves that that movie could have been good because it is the exact same fucking movie. It's the exact
Yeah.
same fucking movie. It's just details changed. So it is what you do with the movie and
Yeah.
what source material you're drawing from, or it's just like anything, even heavy metal music. Like you have your influences, and either you choose to use those influences, or as a metal band, you say, "Hey, you know what? We're not capable of doing anything new, so we're just going to do what that band did because that seemed to work really well." Right?
Yeah.
And that's basically a reboot. So you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
with horror, if you go see horror movies because you like the way they make you feel and they're enjoyable and they're your favorite genre, then you're not going to give a fuck that this is a complete remake of the of the Child's Play reboot, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, how should I say it? It did not break the movie for me. I still liked it.
No, absolutely not.
I like the movie. It's just a lot of things around the movie that I mean, how should I say? People, fans that hated it. I'm like, okay, fine, that hated the Child's Play remake. I mean, that is specifically something different. Even though I disagree with that opinion, I would not necessarily say that I can't take those people seriously. Specifically, what aggravated me were the official critics,
Yeah.
the official ratings, and all of the countless articles. Official. I mean, that I have read. I have read so much articles about Megan before I even watched it. And it was just basic. I mean, I thought maybe eventually I was going to watch it, but just like I said, when I first saw the trailer, I was convinced from what I saw that it's just gender swap Chuckies. And I saw the trailer the first time like a few days after I watched Child's Play. This was in 2022. It's not that long. And then I saw all of the articles about this is such an amazing horror movie. Only good reviews. I don't know how they are now. That could be different. That could be different now because obviously they take them down or change them if the audience disagrees too much with it. They often do
That should not happen.
I mean,
That should not happen.
I mean, the thing is, I'm probably going to be called a conspiracy theorist or a grifter, but yes, it happened.
Well, I was gonna say, how could you be called a grifter if it's been proven that that happens?
Yeah,
That
I
happens.
mean, yeah, it does happen. But
It happens.
but what just aggravated me specifically is when I watched Megan. I liked the movie; it was great. But when I was done with the movie, what made me think about it is it came all back up to my mind how this movie was praised by all critics, by all official websites, and the exact same people hated Chucky, even though these movies are identical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those people, specifically the critics, should have not given Child's Play such a bad review, or they should have given Megan an equally as bad rating as they gave Child's Play. That's what
Yeah.
fucking aggravates me.
It depends on what they say, right?
No.
So
No.
what would piss
Not
me off? What would piss me off, Mike,
yeah.
would not be that they gave Child's Play a bad rating and this a good one. What would piss me off is if this one was praised, if Megan was praised for being an original horror movie, which I'm sure that happened, right?
No, that not for me. Not for me. I mean, it's one thing if you have people saying their subjective opinion, and horror fans or critics. Different thing. That's why I mean, I expect an objective analysis of this as possible from these people. And if they have two movies that are identical, and they give one a bad rating and the other one a good rating, and specifically the one they gave a good rating, more or less, is just a ripoff of the one they gave a bad rating. But both of those movies, in premise, story, characters, and plot, are both all identical.
Yeah.
No, I don't give
Yeah.
these
I
people
mean,
any flack.
you're not gonna get away with calling it original. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think also execution has a lot to do with it. And I think that's one of the big arguments for any
What?
movie, right? That kind of follows the same premise of another one. Like you can say these two movies are absolutely identical, minus a few things, right?
Yeah.
But if one of them, the execution is done really badly, which makes it objectively a bad movie, but the other one, even though it's the same story, does that execution so much better that it makes it a good movie, then that might be, and keep in mind, I'm just playing devil's advocate. That might be a good reason to give it a better review. So it depends on what you're grading it on. If you're grading it on execution, then Megan wins because the execution here was so, in my opinion, was so much better than Child's Play.
I don't see any difference in execution either.
No?
No, I don't. I don't see much difference. I mean, of course, you could say like Chucky in the remake was the narcissistic, jealous friend, and Megan is the overprotective psychopath. But that in execution, I don't see much difference between these movies, Matt. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There is the difference. The differences I see. The differences, in my opinion, between Child's Play remake and Megan are like 4 or 5. And I'm going to bring them up straight to begin with. First, the obvious one, the gender swapping. Don't have a problem with it. Fine for me, but that's one.
Well, can
Second
you really
one,
gender swap a robot? I'm just kidding.
I know. Female appearing, as they would say in German. Okay, but however, that's the one thing. The second thing is that the main protagonist, the child, her parents didn't die in Child's Play. Yeah. So, third difference, the puppet series, a puppet line was already launched. And besides the factor of the involvement of the company, that was missing in Child's Play.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
That are literally the only differences. Everything else, even, sorry, Matt, but even the kills are all kills that Chucky did.
I can't even remember the kills in the reboot,
I
to be
mean,
honest with
it
you, Matt.
killed the cat. It killed somebody with a fucking large knife. That is what Chucky did.
Yeah.
By the way, it killed another guy in a garage with some chemicals and then burned him.
It is fucking identical then. Holy shit.
I'm sorry, Matt. Even the
Yeah, you're right.
kills.
The kills are identical. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, the one that's different is the forest scene where Megan chases the boy. Okay, I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But I mean, Matt.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I mean, this might be one of those that when I was watching the Child's Play reboot, I was already angry, like very angry. And I remember seething watching that film, being like, what the
I mean,
look at how they butchered my boy. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that's how I felt because I like Chucky. I like the original movie and stuff. But I can barely remember it because it's such a hate-filled thing in my mind that I basically blocked it out. So I might actually have to go back and watch the Child's Play reboot just to go watch this one, or at least while I have this one fresh in my head.
I mean, that's what I say. But the thing is, the kills might have not been from the. I mean, when I say that are identical, might not be from the remake. I don't fully remember the kills from the remake, but I'm saying from the original 4 or 5 movies.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it now.
That's
mean
what I'm talking about because except for the forest kills, I absolutely remember seeing these kills that are extremely similar in the Child's Play movies. But I think those were
Okay.
the original ones,
It
not the
may be the
remake.
originals. Because I can't
I don't
remember. I remember in the reboot, it was one of the things that pissed me off about that reboot was it was extremely slow to build up. Like
Mhm.
extremely slow to build up. And I think like your first kill didn't even happen until like most of the way through the movie.
Probably, yeah.
They kept it pretty docile until towards the end, but I can't remember. It doesn't matter. You're still right. This is a 1-to-1, right? With a few subtle differences. Reception of this movie, let's say these guys were very smart because one, and there's no way that you're going to convince me, even if they deny it. There's no way you're going to convince me that they didn't get this idea from Child's Play reboot.
Yeah.
They lifted it 1-to-1, right? The
Yeah.
thing that they did smarter though, and to my dismay, unfortunately, because I will admit, when I saw this movie the first time, I saw the theatrical release, and I did not like the theatrical release. I thought,
Yeah.
why is this in the horror genre? If anything, this could be, like sci-fi or something, because the kills in the theatrical version are basically non-existent. You know that she's killing people, you kind of see her do it, but there is no like execution, right? And so when I saw it the first time, I was like, no, I mean, it was okay, but it was meh, This time when I watched it for the podcast, I saw the uncut version. And this was the version that they were trying to get released in the theaters. But they ultimately didn't release because their PR person was extremely smart. They said, look, if you release this movie the way that it is right now, it's going to get an R rating and you're going to get a bunch of adults that go see it who are going to like it, but it's not going to get the buzz that it would get if it was a PG-13 movie. Because if it's a PG-13 movie, then you're going to get younger people that go see it because it's a female doll. So there's going to be like younger girls, teenage girls that go see this movie because of this that normally would not have seen it if it was rated R. So the version that most people have seen because they didn't give it a second glance is the theatrical version. The actual version of this movie is a fucking bloodbath. It's a bloodbath. The humor hits harder too because they cut back on what people say, things that are inappropriate to say in a PG-13 movie. They completely cut it out. There's whole scenes that they cut out where she's saying horrible things that she didn't say in the theatrical cut. She's straight up murdering people. You see everything in this cut. It's just a much better horror movie. And thankfully, we have this podcast because I would have never known that if didn't have to go back and watch it.
Mhm.
So for anybody, by the way, Mike, what movie are we doing if they don't know already?
Megan. That was I mean, dude, that was in the
Hey,
that was
dude,
in the
we
10
have to do it. We have to do it because it is part of the podcast. You have to say that, okay?
Okay.
Uh,
We're doing Megan. We're doing Megan.
yes.
Yeah? Yeah.
So if you saw this movie and you were underwhelmed like I was the first time I saw it, there is the uncut version, and it is a much, much, much different movie. So if you're a gore hound, and you like slasher films, you'll actually. I would be hard pressed to find a slasher fan that would not like this cut of the movie, right?
Well, yeah.
So thankfully there is an adult cut and there's a kids cut. Most of y'all saw the kids cut. Go see the adult cut. So we can both agree, objectively, not a bad movie. Good movie, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a fine movie. It's a fine movie. Even though,
Yeah.
even though, of course, obviously, I have a lot to complain about it that I brought up. I like the movie.
Well, there's more to complain about too.
Yeah. But
this movie is not without its flaws.
no. But generally, I like the movie. I thought it was fine. It really was. But I still just would not consider it to be like a masterpiece in any way. Because simply for
It
what
is
I did.
definitely not a masterpiece. Yes.
It's just too much of Child's Play ripoff. That I can call it a great movie.
Yeah.
Or a good movie.
Yeah.
By the way. And this is coming from
not original.
And this is coming from an Aragon fan.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I mean, Aragon is just Star Wars, right?
Yeah, Star Wars with dragons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this film, I'm not really sure where to put this one. The actors in it are not well-known actors. Like nobody in this film is a well-known actor, but as a slasher movie that keeps you on your feet and is suspenseful, it does its job. However, not original at all. And
Yeah.
Mike, even if the Child's Play reboot did not exist, this would still not be an original film.
Yeah. It would still have too much like similarities with Child's Play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
in almost every way.
In every way. But
Yeah.
it's just specifically the Child's Play remake where you can say, yes, that makes it a ripoff. But even without that, it would still have too much similarities to Child's Play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to get into the ritual
name
of name
butchering.
butchering now.
Okay. The ritual of name butchering. We have a lot of names here. Okay. Now, we start out with. Yep. Okay. We have Jenna Davis, who plays Megan. I wonder if she's related to Gina Davis, but we can look.
She might be. Might be.
Now, I'm just going to look this up now. Jenna.
Yeah, go ahead, look it up. It would be interesting if she was.
Jenna Davis. Jenna Davis is Yeah, okay, she's an actress. Yeah, no shit. I love this. I love this. You know, Jenna Davis is an American actress. Internet personality. She's an actress. After I seen her in a fucking movie. No shit.
Yeah, I know. They have to. They have to put that in there, though.
Okay, whatever. Okay, I can't see any relation to Gina Davis. The only relative is shown here is her aunt. No idea who her aunt is, and I don't care. We have Allison Williams, who plays Gemma. Violet McGraw, who plays Cady.
That one was good. That was okay. I'm safe.
That was okay. We have Amy Donald, who plays Megan. I guess that's probably, I think probably Jenna Davis was probably the voice. And
the blonde woman is the voice, and the other little girl is the actual physical.
Yeah, okay, exactly. That's how they did it. Okay. We have Ronnie Shang playing David. On that one, you have to drink.
No, Shang is right.
What? Okay, right. Okay. Shang is right.
Shang is right. See, you're trying to get me to drink, Mike. You're trying to get me to drink when you didn't fuck anything up.
Fuck.
Don't do that.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Brian Jordan Alvarez, who plays Cole. Now, Justin Roland is somehow involved in this movie. I do not know how.
What?
He's
Okay,
in the cast.
Roland or Royland?
Royland. Aha, you got a drink? I did not do that one on purpose. Justin Roiland. Okay. Did we have Gerard Johnstone?
Did you say Gerard?
Yes.
Gerard Whetstone?
Gerard Johnstone. Okay.
No. It's
Okay.
Gerard.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay. Then we have Jen Van Epps, who plays Tess. What? Jen Van Epps? We have another one that looks like a porn actress. Her name is God, you're gonna fucking hate me. Natasha Kojic.
Fuck, Mike.
Okay. Amy Usherwood. No. We have Lori Dungy.
That sounds right.
What?
That sounds right.
Okay. Million Bard, Ellen Dubbin, Chelsea Preston Crayford, Arlo Green, Kira Josephson, Clinton Randall, Natasha Daniel, Renee Lyons, Melissa Billington, Stefan Garnell, Simon Rabi, Stamson Chung Boone, Eugene Young.
What?
What?
Stamson Chomboong? What?
Yeah, Sam's. Okay, this is literally it. Samson Chan Boone.
Okay, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Okay.
Okay.
We have Eugene Young, Michael Sacenti, whatever the fuck that is. I don't know. We have
Spell it.
Saccente.
I think you said that one right. Okay.
Okay. Dea Beach Robertson. Okay, and I totally forgot to mention what characters they're playing, but I'm not going to repeat it because I don't care.
Okay. I think that was 4 shots.
4 shots.
I mean, these are actually little glasses, but
yeah. 4 shots directly in a room.
Okay, so if I slur my speech a little bit here, dude, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Whew. Okay. Who's the director?
Shit. Now, what's the name? Okay. Let's see. The director is... Who is the director? Oh, that is... I already mentioned him. Gerard Johnstone. Or Johnstone. Or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
That guy was the director.
Okay. He's done other stuff because I've seen the name before. And I want to say he did horror movies too. I just can't remember which ones they were, but the name would probably stick out more, huh?
We have Housebound, Sion's Wedding, Special Crimes Unit, Nothing Special.
Okay. So this is his first horror movie.
Well, could be it. Now, what was Housebound? Housebound he made in 2014. Housebound. No, it's not Housebound, apparently. He did before that. And there are multiple actors in that. Okay, there's at least one actor I can find in Housebound that also plays in Megan. It's the actor Millen Bard, who plays a cop again in Housebound.
Okay. Cool. All right. So a couple problems with this movie, starting right off from the beginning. First of all, and see if you, I think I'm a little bit drunk. All right, let's see if you can agree with me on some of this, right?
Yeah.
So it opens up with the 2 parents of Cady. Cady's in the back seat of their car. They're in the front seats, and they are driving to go on a ski trip, right? It is obvious just from the dialogue. Keep in mind, these people are traveling on a road that is full of snow in the mountains somewhere. And we're not talking about a little bit of snow. Like, this is like feet of snow. and they're driving a car, and the car is slipping all over the road while Cady is in the back seat messing around with a toy. First thing the dad says is, "Oh man, this is a really difficult drive." And the mom says, "Well, that's probably because you didn't put the tire chains on." Which, if you know anything about driving in the snow, which some people that watch this podcast are probably living in the South, you put tire chains on when you're driving through heavy snow so you don't slip all over the road. She says, "Well, that's probably because you didn't put the tire chains on." And he said, "Well, you can't blame me for something that I didn't know existed until 5 minutes ago," is what he says. Okay, how are you going on a ski trip somewhere in the mountains if you did not know that tire chains existed until 5 minutes ago? This makes no
Well,
sense whatsoever.
I
I'm
make a tip.
sorry. Like,
Can I make a typical European comment on this?
sure,
Americans.
no, 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 absolutely not. I'm not buying it because, okay, like, let's
No,
say these people
but that was
flew in from the south.
that was a joke, dude. I know.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, that was a
Well,
joke.
let's say these people flew in from the south to go up north on a ski trip.
Yeah.
They probably flew in, they didn't drive their own car, right? So if you
Yeah.
rented this car from a place and you said you were going into the mountains with it, because they always ask you that at a rental car place, they would have said, "Oh, you probably need tire chains." And they would not have let them leave without putting tire chains on their tires. But anyway, it's a horror movie, whatever.
Yeah,
So,
but even if it's a horror movie and they're just stupid. But the
and these
thing
parents
is,
are obviously lame. Yeah.
yeah, but even if the way these people die, it's not like they had an accident. They were more or less standing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which is
even
also not good behavior if you know about driving in a whiteout. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, it's too much snow on the road. There's too much snow in the air. They basically stop the car because they're worried about the car sliding everywhere. They stop in the middle of the road. The dialogue is, "Well, if we sit here because we can't go any further, we'll just have to wait for a snowplow to show up to shovel the way out of the way so that we can drive." And the minute
Yeah.
they say that, a snowplow appears in front of their car, heading at them at 40 miles an hour,
Yeah,
smashes into the
but
car.
but I know, but one thing I did not understand about this scene specifically is
Yeah.
the snowplow isn't the road, wouldn't they be on the right side and the road is wide enough that the snowplow would just drive by them?
Yes.
I mean
Yes.
okay, I'm not an
Yes.
expert, but I do not think that in the States you have like the same driving rules as in the UK. I mean, I think the
No.
driving rules are similar in the States as they are in Germany, where you drive on the right
Yes.
side of the road.
Yes. Yes.
So this is one thing that came to me is if they just stop now, were these people that insanely stupid as they were driving their car on the left lane the entire time? Or was the guy driving the snow plow car? He was the one that was too stupid to drive. I mean, somebody in
Well,
this scene.
so there's three possible ways to
Yeah,
explain this away. And the beginning of the movie, this part right here got me because I was like, no. So one scenario is the parents are complete idiots and were driving on the wrong side of the road. Two, the guy with the snowplow was a complete idiot and was driving on the wrong side of the road.
yeah.
Or three, there was just too much snow and nobody knew what was going on anywhere or where the road was. That's possible.
Dude, you totally missed that joke. You should have said,
But,
or number three, both the guy driving the snowplow and the parents were idiots.
well, I thought that was a given. I thought that was a given.
That, that would have
Just
made the
the
joke
fucking
so much better.
No, I got it. I got it. It's the dialogue between these parents already shows that they're stupid. I mean, they're raising this poor little girl with toys and iPads and everything else, just like every modern parent now. And they realize their mistake because she is crazy about these toys. She's crazy about the iPad. She's fixated on everything. And they're like, "Hey, we need to like cut screen time for her daily a little bit." So this girl's already fixated on she's being raised by devices, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes her susceptible to what happens in this movie in the first place. Right. But yes, the parents were idiots and the guy in the snowplow was a fucking idiot. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. I'll go with that explanation. So then we meet her aunt, which I cannot remember her aunt's name, but it doesn't really matter because she's a total bitch. Uh,
Mhm.
I did not like this woman at all, not from the get go.
I liked her. I mean, she was like actually one of
She's
the only
kind of a
characters I did.
fucking jerk, man.
Why a jerk?
Well, okay, so the fence that is on her property that the dog keeps
Okay. Now
getting
I know
out
what you're
of
talking about. Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
her
Now,
fucking
yeah,
fence. It is not the woman's fence with the dog. It is her
yeah,
fucking fence, right?
yeah, yeah.
We'll get there, but so she is the aunt of Cady, and what we find out is that both her parents died in that accident, and Cady is still alive. She
Mhm.
had to go to the hospital. She had a couple cuts and bruises that they bandaged up. They called the aunt and they said, "Hey, your sister is dead and her husband is dead, and Cady is still alive. You are the next of kin. You are the person who is going to get custody of Cady." Right?
Yeah,
So this woman is an extremely busy, highly intelligent programmer, right?
yeah.
And if you know these kinds of people, they're not exactly in tune with the world around them. And that's just kind of a normal thing. They're not always like that. And that's what this woman is. She is clueless about life. She is hell bent on her work and her programming and moving forward. And so taking care of Katie is not a top priority for her.
Mhm.
Um, as sad as the situation is, you get the feeling that Katie is just a burden on her. She's very sad about her sister's death,
Yeah,
but
but the thing is, it's like I understand why you get that feeling, but you can see like she has 0 experience with children,
yeah,
and that she's just trying to figure out how to handle shit. It's not that she does not want Katie there, it's just she does not know what to do, and that's
yeah,
why it comes across as it feels like. But I don't think I never had the feeling when it came to Gemma that, she did not want Katie, she did not wanna take care of her. She just has no fucking idea what to do with
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's not something, in my opinion, that makes somebody unsympathetic or, why I would call her a
Well,
bitch.
I,
I
I,
mean
d- I don't know. At the same time, though, Mike, like your sister died, her husband died. You have a very young child that needs somebody very desperately in her life right now,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And you are more concentrated on your work. And she didn't even take time off from work, dude. Do you notice
true.
that?
Yeah,
She didn't even take time off from work. She was like, "Well, here's the house. There's your bed. Have fun. I'm going back to work." And that's basically what happens, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I would call that person a jerk. Period. If your niece, if you are now the sole protector of your niece and the person who has to raise her and you know that her parents just died, she needs you. She is very unconcerned about that. And so for that reason alone, I did not find her very
Mm.
likable as a person. But whatever. Um The second thing that makes her not likable, the minute that they pull up to her house, the dog from next door runs through the gate because there's a gigantic hole in the fence,
Yeah,
runs through the fence into the yard and starts barking at Katie before she gets out of the car. Her aunt gets out of the car and starts screaming at the woman next door, who's obviously not like a bad person. So even though this woman is screaming at her and being a kind of a bitch to her, she's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll get my dog in, whatever. You might want to fix that hole in the fence because the only reason the fucking dog is getting through the fence and being able to bother her is because she is not fixing the damn fence. That's her fence that has a hole in it. It is not the neighbor's responsibility to fix her fence."
yeah.
Right. So anything that happens with the dog
It's her fault. Yeah.
is her fault. And so I'm going to take a little side detour here to something that I said in the last episode. Stop killing fucking dogs in horror movies. Just stop.
Yeah. But it's this is
Just
also a
stop.
thing. It also stopped that, and the next thing is something I do not understand. This woman keeps her dog outside in a doghouse. I
That's
mean,
America.
what? Yeah, but it's no, 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 because this is something I do not understand. I mean, dog houses are something you put out in your garden so that if it's summer, the dog has a place it can hide and does not get a heat stroke. That's what a fucking doghouse is for.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%. 100%. But in America, everybody thinks they want a dog. And so they get a dog. And then they realize that dogs are work. And they're like, fuck, I don't want this thing in my house all the time. I guess I'll just leave it in the yard. And quite honestly, if you're that kind of person, fucking don't get a dog. Just don't get a dog. If you're going to leave it
Yeah.
outside all the time and you're not going to treat it like a member of your family, don't get a fucking dog. Period.
Yeah.
I have no sympathy for people that their dogs run away because they leave them outside or something bad happens to their dog because they leave them outside all the time. If you do that, don't get a dog. Period. Right? But yes, you're right. She is also a shitty person for leaving her dog in the yard all the time. Anyway, this is going to come into play later. So the aunt brings her in the house. The kid wants to play around with the toys that she has on her shelf because she's a programmer and someone who creates kids' toys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she has toys up on her counter. Immediately, Cady wants to play with the toys on her shelf. She says, "Whoa, don't play with those. Those are collector's items, and they can't be taken out of the box." Okay. Any nerd that collects stuff understands this, right? But
Yeah.
still kind of a shitty thing to say to a kid that wants to play with toys because her parents are dead and she needs a
Yeah,
distraction.
I mean, if you would have any normal consciousness, you would have gotten some toys for this kid to play with to begin with.
Right. Right. Yeah. But I mean, we get the feeling that this all happened very quickly and she really didn't have time to plan for it. So I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will give her some credit. She is trying. When she puts
Yeah.
Cady in her new bedroom, Cady says, "Oh, you're not going to read me a story?" Because her aunt wants to go back to programming shit, right? She's like, "You're not going to read me a story?" And she says, "Well, I've never done that before, but I can download a book on an app and
Yeah.
read it to you." So she is trying, right?
Yeah, you can give her that benefit that she's trying.
She's trying. She's
Uh-huh.
trying. She's just not cut out for this.
Yeah.
So we get a little bit of that relationship. We see that Katie's getting bored at the house and she's kind of leaving her bedroom and coming to over where her aunt is, where her aunt is working on stuff and says, "Hey, do you have any other toys in the house that I can play with?" And this is where the aunt's like, "Actually, I do. I have this robot that I built when I was in college. It's here at the
Yeah.
house. You want to see it?" And this robot's cool as shit, Mike. I like this fucking robot. I would love to have this thing.
Yeah.
This thing is just sitting in the corner doing nothing for the longest time. And it's a giant humanoid robot
Yeah.
that moves. She puts these gloves on, and whatever she does with the gloves, the robot does. So it's
Yeah.
like a fully functional moving robot that you can make do things. And I think that's awesome. Who has that at their fucking house? That's cool as shit. Of
Yeah.
course, Cady thinks this is amazing, right? She's like, "Oh my
Obviously.
God, this is so cool. What else can he do?" But she's like, "Well, he has all these sensors in his head so he can smell things, he can see things. Basically, he can do
Mhm.
everything that you can just on a different level." And that
Yeah.
that interests Cady a lot, right? So we got that robot scene because that's going to come back later, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Next scene, the aunt is back at work the next day and they're trying to get a toy out on the market. So her job is to create kids' toys, but high tech kids' toys, right? And her boss is a total fucking asshole. This guy is the biggest fucking jerk.
Yeah. 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 He's a typical boss that everybody no. Everybody has seen this guy. This is the boss at work that has no fucking clue about anything, but somehow managed to be successful in life, even though he does not know anything about anything.
No, you get the
Yeah.
feeling this guy got handed his job by somebody else. Is
Yeah.
what you think.
Definitely.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
zero people skills, no consideration for anybody's feelings, and also he's kind of like the boss on Send Help, the movie that we just did recently.
Well, yeah. The boss on Zen Help wasn't an idiot. He was just an asshole.
Yeah, this guy's both. But so there
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
an
this guy
asshole
is
and an idiot. This guy is really wanting them to get this new toy out on the market because there's another company that just beat them to the punch on one of their other toys, right?
yeah, no, it's no, not necessarily beat them a punch, it's producing a more cheaper version.
Right.
Yeah.
It's producing the same toy that they've already created. Even the commercials look the same as their commercials, but it's
Yeah.
cheaper. And so he's furious about that. So he comes in, but not before we get to see this other thing she's working on, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing she's working on is this other humanoid robot that they've already given a name to. They call it Megan, but it's not complete. It's strapped up to a bunch of cables on the wall from the arms and legs. It's basically a metal skeleton with a
Yeah.
box head. And there's two other workers that are in there with her on her team. And the guy comes in with a box, drops it on the table, and he's like, "It's here." He opens the box, and what it is it's the silicone face for this doll that they're creating and working on. This doll that they're working on, they're creating basically in secret because they don't
Yeah.
want their boss to know that they're working on it, right? Because they think this is going to be the next biggest thing, but they don't want him to know that they're spending company money building this thing.
No.
So this is kind of a dangerous thing that they're doing.
Yeah, because the box is taken away from her.
Yeah, immediately. So they get the silicone face in, they put it over the doll skeleton, and then they switch it on. And what you realize really quickly is that this is a humanoid doll that has what looks like right now at this moment, and I think this was a different type of AI model than what they had later. I think this is a general artificial intelligence that they have in it right now, right? And that just generates responses that seem realistic and human. So it has that AI. They put the face on it. They test it. Everything seems to work okay.
Yeah.
And that's when the boss comes in. He's like running his fucking security card through the door, trying to get the door to open like over and over and over. Basically, they
Yeah.
disabled his card because they don't want him just busting into their room while they're working. So they have to open the door for him. He comes in. He's furious. He's like, "Hey, this other toy is being released. It's just like ours, but it's cheaper. What the fuck is going on?" And that's when they're like, "Hey, wait, we're working on this thing over here, and this is going to be the next biggest thing." And that's when they show him the Megan, right?
No.
So they turn it on and they ask it questions, and the system fails immediately. Like it starts saying a bunch of crazy things. It starts like glitching, and then the face starts melting because it overheats because the guy forgot to put in the heat sensor into the head of the robot before they started it up. So it heats up and the mask like melts and everything. And he's like, "What is this piece of shit? This thing is scary. It's an abomination. I don't want it in here. Get it the fuck out of here and get busy on the toy that you guys are supposed to be making." Right.
Yeah. I want it by next Friday or something like that.
Yeah. He says, "I want it by next Friday." So now they're gonna have to scramble to get this toy done, and they're gonna have to
Yeah.
put Megan on ice for a little while and not work on it, right? So I'm trying to remember what happens next. You have the movie up in front of you?
Yeah, I have the movie up in front of me, but this is the scene where they're talking about. I think I know after this scene where the thing, no, that just happened where the robot's head exploded
Yeah.
and the boss tell them I want this toy, blah 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 blah. She drives to the hospital and has to sign the custody papers for Cady and brings her home.
Right.
Yeah, so I think you mix up those two scenes.
Yeah. So they went and saw the robot before we see
Yeah.
the robot before they bring Katie home, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think what happens next is she brings her to work, doesn't she?
No, okay, I have to jump now I have to jump the scenes because you totally mixed them up.
It's okay. I can cut it back to where it's actually correct.
We have the thing with her talking, blah, 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 blah. What happened? Oh, God, okay. No? No, this is where, the lady from the, what's it called? Jugendamt, nah, in
Yeah,
German?
the Child Protective Services.
Yeah, Child Protective Services, exactly, that's what it's called. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She's there.
she shows up. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. He shows up and is like, yeah, she just wants to see how Cady is doing in her new environment, like for 30, 40 minutes, just show her toys or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And then, Gemma is like, yeah, well, she doesn't have any toys because Gemma was totally unprepared for this and did
Yeah.
not get it. And what's with those? And Gemma's like, no, those are collectibles. And
Yeah.
and this is a thing where because obviously this is I mean, I would say Gemma has her mistakes, obviously, with you see with the dogs or whatever. But this is the scene that shows her that she's trying and that she's not a bad person. She's trying because she
Yeah.
goes up to the shelf, takes one of these collectibles, and opens it.
Yeah.
And this is
I
like,
forgot.
I mean, I don't really have these collectible action figure stuff, even with video games I like. I have a lot of that stuff, as you can see up here, obviously, a few things,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it's like I don't go out of my way to buy these collectibles because I do not have really much. Yeah, I don't have much for it. I mean,
Yeah.
I can decorate my front room with my video game shit the way it is, and that's. I mean, I for example, I'm a huge Zelda fan, but I'm not going to go out and buy multiple action figures of characters in Zelda because if I want to see those characters, Matt, well, I should just go play a Zelda game.
Right. Yeah. 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 I get it. I get it.
But yeah, that's kind of, and even though obviously I have Zelda Monopoly behind me, I have an ocarina and that kind of stuff, yeah. But for the most part, it's like I think it's cool when people have that out there, and if they like that and enjoy that, totally cool, total.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go out of my way to pay money for that shit, dude.
There was a time where I would collect things if I knew that they were hard to get.
Yeah, yeah.
So if it was something that I really liked and I knew that there was a limited edition of something that they were only going to make a certain amount of, I would get it. But mostly comic books. Like I was a big comic book collector back in the day. So if there
Me
was
too.
like a special edition of a certain comic that came out,
Yeah.
I was going to get that because I wanted to own it. Believe it or not, I actually also had some crazy horror action figures, but I never bought a one of them. They were all gifted to me. People just assumed like, "Oh, you love horror, so you probably want this." And so I'd get stuff like that, and I'd be like, "Well,
Okay.
okay, sure." Put it on my shelf. And it was cool, but I would never like buy it for myself unless it was like something special.
Yeah, I
Case
just
in
think
point, I don't have kids and you don't have kids, right? So
yeah.
if you have kids, you probably shouldn't collect things like that because they're gonna wanna fucking open them.
Yeah, but how should I say? I also think if you have kids that you don't necessarily have to get rid of this stuff. No, I mean, how should I
No,
say?
you just gotta
Kids
hide
aren't
it away.
Yeah, no, no, not necessarily. I mean, kids aren't stupid, you know? This is, in my opinion no, they're not. They're not. No? This is something, in my opinion, that kids understand if you explain it to them.
Oh, no. No, 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 no. Not in our house. No. No,
Yeah,
I
but
had a dad who was a collector, and he was like, "Don't open this and don't do that because it's worthless if you open it." Right?
in your dad's
And
movie,
he collected comic books too, and we
I'm
opened all
sorry,
of his comic books.
no, but that's your dad's mistake, not the mistake of the kids. It depends on how you
Yeah, but you can't teach kids, like, that something is worth something because if you do that, automatically they want to play with it,
you can teach that
right?
to kids. You can't teach them worth and sense of money. That is what kids aren't going to get. But
Yeah.
emotional, sentimental worth, that is something kids understand.
Not every kid. Like, not every kid.
I
We
disagree
certainly
on
didn't. We had no respect for anything my parents collected at all. We were little
well,
assholes.
but that's the point. That's the point, Matt. That is on your parents, not on you or your brothers.
It's okay. It's alright. But case in point, you remember how parents always say, "This
Yeah.
is why we can't have nice things?"
Well, true, true. Yeah.
That comes from
Yeah.
somewhere. It's like if you have
Yeah.
something nice that you wanna protect and keep it clean, if you have kids, then you're not going to keep it clean and it's not going to stay safe, especially if there's more than one of you, right? I mean, how many
Well,
things did you
yeah,
break with your
that's true.
parents?
That's true, but I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of conflicted on this, because I think I want to see if these story. I mean, I do think kids would take these toys out and start playing with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not saying they would have done that, but I think the kids would have opened it up, put the box by side, and then they were finished with it. They would put it back in the box and on the shelf. Because to be
If they were
honest, Matt,
smart, yeah.
huh? That is something where kids are not stupid. And obviously they would fuck something up and drop something.
Yeah.
Obviously. That
Yeah.
happens when we have kids.
Yeah,
But
of
it's
course.
not like I mean, how should I say it? When a lot of people is bringing up these arguments, they act like a kid is gonna total your fucking apartment. I mean, that's an exaggeration, dude, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you don't have kids, you think that for sure. Right.
Yep.
The only reason I know it's not that way is because I was a kid with parents that collected stuff. So,
Yeah.
like, I know how far kids are willing to go to get away with something. Right.
Yep.
So, my dad was a big comic collector when I was a kid. And this was
Oh.
before I was even into comics. Right. And so he'd be like, all right, these comics right here, you can read. These right here that are in the plastic with the white board behind it, you can't touch those. Do not touch those. Don't open them. Don't fuck with them. Leave them alone. Of course, if you explain stuff to a kid like that, what are they going to do? They're going to go be like, well, if I put it back in the plastic after I finish reading it, he's not going to notice, right?
Mhm.
So you go in there and you pop open the plastic and you read the comic and you put it back in the plastic. Unknowingly, you just made the comic book worthless because you popped it out of the original plastic seal.
Yeah.
Dude, we did that shit all the time. So, I mean, yeah, kids get it, but they don't get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, back to the movie. So, she opens one of the toys and lets her play with it because she's decided, hey, maybe her happiness is more important than my wanting to collect things. So she is
Yeah.
trying, right?
But this is also something if you're a collector that must be insanely painful.
Oh
For
yeah.
her. Yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. But she also doesn't look like she's hurting for money though. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
think if she could probably go buy another one. Not a big deal. She stands to make a bunch of money from the stuff that they're creating back there. So yeah, the woman comes by, checks the place out after she's watched them play with things, the toy that
Mhm.
she opened and stuff. She comes up to the aunt and she says, "Hey, if you want to make this work, then you're going to have to change some things because if things around here don't change, then we may have to send her to the other side of the family." And the aunt says, "Well, I knew my sister and she would not have wanted her to go there. She would have wanted her to be here with me." And the woman says, "Okay, well, then some things here need to change because right now she needs a guardian, someone to trust,
Mhm.
and someone that will listen to her issues and talk to her. And you don't really have time for that or really act like you want to. So you have to, right?" And
Not
so
wrong.
he
Well,
gets
she's
it.
not wrong about the child surface lady is not wrong about that.
No. And I mean, there's a good moral to this story too. I mean, a kid is, you know, the kids will find comfort in other things if you don't provide that as a parent.
Yeah.
And so she's absolutely correct. Um, and this is where I think she takes her to work, right? Or does she bring Megan home?
No, I think, no, shortly after that is the scene, Matt, where you have, uh, her and the robot, and she's developing this new toy or whatever. That is where she has the idea for Megan, where she starts working on the thing with Megan and whatever. Then she takes her with to work because she wants to see how Cady reacts to Megan. And this is where her
Right.
boss comes down across Megan. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think she got that idea to start working on Megan again because of the fact that the social worker said that.
Yeah.
I think that's why she started working. So she got the idea to go ahead and start working on Megan again to try to push it through the process. So, and this is where, even though it's not in the movie, I think that she changed the intelligence on this bot to something higher than what the original AI was.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is all theoretical, of course, because Megan turns out to be uh, a super AI, right? But she doesn't start out that way. So we have no idea what type of AI she put in this bot. But they start working on it. They get it all together. The two people that are at the office start working on it with her, and they're like, hey, okay, we got to get clothes for this thing. We got to make it look right. Basically, by the time they're done, this thing looks like a little girl for the most
Yeah.
part. I mean, you can tell obviously if you've seen the movie or you've seen the like any of the dancing that the doll does online because that was a big hit. You know, this thing is like uncanny valley creepy, basically, right? And so she brings her in. She brings her niece in to meet her, turns her on, and lets her talk to her. And it's like immediately, Cady kind of sees her as a friend because she talks
Yeah.
back to her. She acts like she wants to listen. And then I think there's a cool scene where the doll's like, hey, why don't you come over here and let me draw for you? Right.
Yeah.
And so she brings her over to the table and she's drawing something on paper. The doll is drawing something on paper with these like magic markers, but you can't see what it is. And then she puts the paper back in front of Cady and there's nothing on it. And Katie's like, hey, there's nothing on the paper. And then the doll goes, oh, yeah, oops, and knocks over water, which covers the drawing that she did. And all of a sudden, the actual drawing that she drew comes out when the water hits it. And it's like a perfect watercolor, basically painting of Cady. So not only have they created a doll that's the perfect companion for young kids, but it also has cool things that it can learn to do, like draw, from memory or whatever else. This thing can do everything, and we find that out
Yeah. But
later.
this is and this is a situation where you're like, okay, even developers at this point should have been like, nah. But also, this is
Yeah.
something they should have known what it could do, because then it cuts back to a mirage now, a montage. Nah, you see
Yeah.
Katie taking Megan at home, showing her everything, explaining everything to her, being a total euphoric that she has this new friend now, and then they're basically explaining what Megan all can do. But no, it's I think Gemma explaining it, no?
Yeah.
While you saw a montage of basically Cady just playing with Megan. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got the feeling this was actually a commercial.
Yes, it's what it was
So
supposed to be. Yeah.
and so they were creating a commercial for the doll, and several times they say this doll is going to be able to do the things that parents don't have time to do. So
Yeah.
this doll is going to be making life easier on parents by replacing them on some things to make their lives easier. And so you see Cady going into the bathroom and then coming back out and Megan saying, hey, Cady, remember to
Yeah.
flush the toilet and wash your hands. So Cady goes back, flushes the toilet and washes her hands. The next day, you see the same scene, and this is the same commercial. She goes into the bathroom, opens the door when she's done, and Megan goes, seriously, Cady, flush the toilet and wash your hands. Like, you see the doll is actually getting a little bit of personality,
Yeah.
right? As this goes along, because this thing is learning everything that's going on from the child's behavior, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And so they kind of make this commercial that they're going to pitch to possible investors, and that's what the commercial is Cady getting to know Megan, and that's their way of explaining, hey, she's learning, right? So by this time, you realize that Cady has actually formed a relationship with this doll. Like they are actively talking about things back and forth. The doll sings to her before she goes to sleep. They're having normal conversations. And Mike, exactly like you just said, this would have been a huge red flag to me as the developer of this doll because
Yeah.
this thing was gaining a personality.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I mean, your brother, I think, probably knows a lot about this and says about being self-aware or whatever, but, of course, this is a sci-fi horror movie, but if you were the developer of this thing, Matt, and you developed this thing, you would be aware of what it's capable. And it's showing specifically this behavior is, well, it's creepy. And Gemma should have actually, they should have saw this. They should have taken it back to the drawing board and tested it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, and I don't know if it was in the original version or if it's only in the version that I saw, but at the end of the movie, and we'll get to that part, of course, but Megan basically says, "You didn't even understand what the program was that you put inside me. You didn't even
Yeah.
understand it. You were just so rushed to get this product out that you ignored all the fail safes." So she basically tells her that she had no fucking idea what this AI was.
At the end, yeah, exactly.
So what that tells me though is that at this point, the red flags that are raised that this doll was becoming sentient is not something that she would have noticed. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because she's probably the robotics technician and the person that programs responses and stuff like that, but she probably didn't really understand the AI that was used on this thing. And we find that out later. But there were red flags that were ignored, right? In the meantime, this fucking dog next door does not quit coming through the fence that she is supposed to fix. And the next door neighbor keeps telling her that. She says, "Hey, the fucking dog wouldn't be running over there if you would fix your fence." And there's a gaping hole. It's not like a tiny hole, it's a giant hole. And this is not a tiny dog, right? So
Yeah.
you Cady outside playing with suction cup bow and arrows. Like she's shooting the suction cup bow and arrows at the window where Megan is standing inside watching her play. And you're watching some things through Megan's eyes. Megan's looking around, scanning for threats the entire time that she's outside playing. One
Yeah.
thing that we forgot to mention is that Megan was given a prime directive, right? She was given a prime directive, and the prime directive was only verbal, but that was enough. The aunt told Megan, "Your job is to make sure Cady stays safe." And that's all
Yep.
she says. Your
Wrong thing
job
to
is to
tell
make,
an AI.
huh?
Wrong thing to tell an AI.
Wrong thing to tell an AI because, of course, the AI is going to do exactly what you tell it to do if you don't give it any other parameters, right?
Yeah.
So its main prime directive, come hell or high water, is to make sure Cady's okay. So Cady is outside playing with this suction cup bow and arrow, and the entire time Megan is standing behind the window and she's looking out, scanning for threats the entire time.
Mhm.
One of the suction cup arrows goes over the fence and lands on the other side, right at the hole where the dog is. And Cady asks Megan, "Hey, here's what the arrow looks like. Can you find my arrow by scanning?" And
Mhm.
Megan's like, "Sure." So she starts looking around and then she identifies that the arrow is laying right there in that hole in the fence where the dog is.
Yeah.
She lets Cady know, and Cady goes directly to where the arrow is and tries to grab it off the ground. And of course, this dog, just like any dog, you can tell me all day long this is the fault of the dog. This is not the dog's fault, right?
No.
It sees a hand come down to grab something that's on its side of the fence and immediately sees it as an intruder and attacks Cady,
But also
right?
you have to see, like, this is not a human, and the dog probably recognizes that. That's why it attacks.
But
I
oh,
would
that's
say
right. It attacks Megan, not Cady. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
exa
yeah. Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that. I thought it was Cady that went out. Right.
No, it was
You're
Meg.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. The dog could have probably realized that it wasn't a human being, and that's why it attacked. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but so the dog attacks Megan as Megan's trying to pick up the arrow and bring it back to her. And the dog's not like the dog is attacking very hard. Like it's got the doll on the ground, it's pulling its arm, it's got it by its neck. It's doing what dogs do to things that it thinks is an intruder, right?
Yeah.
Cady runs up, worried to death about Megan, and tries to rescue Megan. The dog bites Cady's arm badly. So she's bitten deep, right? And is bleeding pretty badly.
Yeah.
Aunt comes out, rescues her from the dog, screams at the woman next door, "If you don't put your dog down, I'm going to put your dog down." He's now
Yeah.
attacking, right? And the woman next door has a good response. She's like, "Well, again, if you would fix the gaping fucking hole in your gate, this would have never happened." And she's absolutely right. So
Yeah.
woman is telling her she's going to put her dog down. So again, I'm going to say the aunt is a total fucking jerk, Mike.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. It's not the dog's fault.
Yeah.
Anyway, Megan, of course, sees the dog as a threat now. Like, the dog is a threat to Cady's life as far as Megan is concerned.
Yeah.
So they take her to the hospital. They clean her up. Her arm's a little bit better. And we see nighttime at the house. Megan comes over to her, talks to her before she goes to sleep, sings her a song, and Cady goes to sleep. And then Megan goes outside and takes care of the dog. That's the best way to explain it. I've seen it done this way in other movies. I'm okay with the way that this is done because you really don't see anything, right? It's the the dog realizes something is over near the hole in the fence again. It goes over there and you see the dog disappear because Megan yanks it through the fence. That's the end of the dog. Next day, they wake up and the aunt says, "Hey, there's a thing going on. It's kind of like a day camp for kids. And the social worker told me about it. I figured maybe you'd want to go do that today because I need to be at the office working." Cady says, "I don't want to go anywhere that Megan can't go. Megan has to go with me or I'm not leaving the house. And you can't make me." Right.
Yeah.
The aunt says, "Well, that's the fun thing about being a guardian. I can make you do whatever I want. So you are going to go to this thing and you're going to go play with other kids because you need to be socialized.
Yeah.
You can't socialize with a doll all day and think that you're getting normal socialization. You need to be with kids your age." Right.
What I would
So
call
Cady,
bullshit, like
huh?
what I would call is bullshit.
Yeah, it is. I mean, socialization's important, but it's not. I mean, you're getting socialization from your parents. You
Yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
where it's from. I mean, I would say like it's also the argument, like people that are homeschooled don't have social skills. That's actually the contrary. Because
Bullshit. Yeah.
there are studies that actually been done on this, that a lot of people that are kids that are homeschooled, once they grow up, they have higher social skills than people that
Yes.
go to normal schools. You know?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because one thing, yeah, because let's be honest. I mean, okay, you and me both, we're weird people generally, and I don't have the highest social skills because of a lot of things. I'm just a complete fucking asshole. But
If that's the case, you are the least biggest asshole of an asshole that I've met. So that's not
probably
completely true.
probably. But I'm gonna be honest. The most social skills people learn, do they actually learn them in school when they're kids or
No.
whatever?
No.
No, I mean the most kids in school, they have like a small group of people, a small group of friends they interact with. And the socializing they learn once they get out of school, when life actually begins. You
Right.
know? And I would say, from my point of perspective, from my experience, I didn't learn any important social skills in school or whatever at all.
No.
That's all stuff that came later in life. I would even make the claim I didn't learn anything useful in school.
No. I didn't either, dude. That is a whole nother discussion altogether. I think
Yeah,
most
yeah,
of the
yeah,
stuff that I learned that was useful to me in life, I learned from home and people at home. School was
yeah.
like teaching a fish to climb a tree. That's what I felt like most of the time.
Me too, as well.
Yeah.
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 Well, okay. You want to? Well, you actually mixed something up, Matt.
Huh? What did I do?
Well, because you forgot the scene after, I would say, after Megan kills the dog. You see the neighbor walking around on the street and calling out for the dog's name. Then it cuts back to the studio because now Megan, because Gemma has a thing at work where all of the investors or everybody want to see Megan.
All
And then you
right.
have like this emotional scene where Cady breaks down, is talking about her parents, and Megan kind of what's it called? Tröstet? Tröst?
Yeah, she consoles her. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, I mean, you can see in the faces of Gemma and her boss, this was not the intention, but it gets the job done.
Yes.
This is not. I mean, it works out, but not how they wanted it to. Huh? Okay. However, then
Arguably it works out better than it
yeah,
would have.
yeah, yeah. But however, then like everybody is out, and they're all super. How should I say it? They're all super impressed by it. No, and this is where like I think like the guy above her boss. I don't know if you can be above the CEO in a company, but apparently this guy has a guy above him. No, and he's basically just going through how the strategy would be or whatever, and blah blah blah. And then he ends it with something like, "Yeah, I think Gemma should have an appointment with our legal team." And then her boss is like, "Why?" And then her
Yeah.
boss's boss says, "Because she is now the most valuable asset we have, and she should rethink her contract."
Yep. And that'll teach you to treat people a little bit better, dude, because now she is worth more than you are.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's typically
yeah,
how these things go, though. So, yeah, presentation goes really well. Basically, with that presentation, what Megan did was show that the doll was capable of working through complex issues, right?
yeah,
And so they wanted to give a tech demo of the doll just being a companion, but what it did was it showed that the doll can actually work through complex human emotional issues, which that immediately caused everyone to see dollar signs, as you would,
yeah,
as you would. Holy shit, dude! Because not only would your company have the patent on this, but if they had the software, imagine what else they could do for adults. You know what I mean? So he was seeing beyond just the doll, and rightfully so. So yeah, now we get into the part that I was talking about earlier. So the aunt is telling her, "Hey, you're going to go to this day camp for kids because, I can't take you to work with me right now." And so
yeah,
after a little bit of arguments and whatever, she says, "Okay, I'll go, but only if Megan can go with me." And the aunt says, "Okay, Megan can go, but she's going to have to stay in the car, or you can drive there with her, but then she's got to go with me because I need to run tests on her. We have another tech demo coming up, blah, 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 blah." She drives her to the place. There's a bunch of kids everywhere. There's a bunch of counselors that are also parents. She doesn't want to get out of the car without Megan. And the aunt is like, "No, you have to go do this by yourself. I have to take Megan back to work." This is when another parent walks up to the car and says, "Oh, I see we have two kids in the back seat that are joining us today," and then realizes that one of them is a doll and
and
freaks
it's,
out. He's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Ah." And so they explain, "No, that's her doll, and it's a prototype, it can't go with her,
mhm,
especially not without me being here." And that's when the other parent is like, "Well, we do need help making sandwiches. Do you want to stay for a little while and help us? And then that way she can be with the doll, if that helps." Right.
yeah, mhm, mhm,
So the aunt agrees. They get out of the car with Megan, and then they say, "Well, Megan has to stay with the other toys because there's a place for all the kids to put their toys, right?"
yeah,
And
yeah,
so the next shot you get is cool. I like the shot because there's all these really big stuffed animals that all these kids brought with them, and they're perched around this tree, and you see Megan like squished in between them like this, with her eyes just staring out from all these stuffed animals, like she's not happy to be sitting there.
yeah,
It's a cool scene. I love how they filmed that. It's stuff like that catches my eye in movies. Um, but yeah, Megan's sitting there because she can't play with her while she's playing with the other kids. The aunt is having a discussion that she doesn't want to have, and everybody's had one of these discussions
oh,
with
dude,
another
and
parent.
dude, I
Fuck.
have this shit is like all the time where it's like the bad thing about discussions like this is the person trying to discuss with you is like, yeah, dude, actually, she's a pretty nice person. And it's not really like you can say like the person is doing anything specifically to annoy you,
Yeah.
but it's just that the discussion itself is annoying. It's small talk. And one thing that always has annoyed me
Big small talk.
was small talk. And for some reason, normies love small talk.
Yes, they do.
And it's just like something, just like you see, you have multiple discussions like this where the person that's doing this is probably a good person, is probably nice, but I'm usually in these situations. I totally empathize with Gemma and this because equally in these situations, I'm usually either annoyed or bored.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm totally with you. I am an extroverted introvert. So
Yeah.
I grew up with a mother who is an extreme extrovert. So I know what it looks like to have small talk because she did it so well. And
Yeah.
if you ever go to the South in America, fucking everybody's like that, Mike. Fucking everybody down there is like that. You will get stuck in a conversation you don't want to have every 5 minutes with someone who wants to talk about nothing. Right. And so I learned early on, okay, small talk is just a part of life and we have to do it. But I fucking hate it. I hate it just like you do. I just want you to leave me alone. And you're right. The other person that's doing it is usually a nice person and a good person. And that's why they're doing it because they don't want you to feel awkward because there's silence. But at the
Yeah.
same time, what they don't realize is they're making it more awkward for you because now you have to talk to them.
Yeah.
It's a fucking paradox, dude, and I can't stand it. It's like some people don't like awkward silences. Let me put this out to everybody out there, guys. There's nothing wrong with silence. Just shut up and don't talk sometimes. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, the
It's
point is,
okay.
the most people point out silence generally as awkward, and I'm like, no. I mean, it's like, no, not at all. I mean, knows this with a coworker of mine. I'm not going to say her name, but I like her. No, she's like the type of person we work. No, I get along with her. She's nice as well, but usually we talk about work, and if we're not talking about work, we're just basically just doing our thing or whatever. And when I sit with her in lunch, sometimes a conversation comes up, but mostly we're just sitting there and eating. And then
Yeah,
we're just sitting
totally
right
fine.
next to each yeah, we're just sitting next to each other and eating, and that's it. Like, it's like they're like I mean, there's another colleague that come in, he's also a nice guy, and he starts a discussion, but it's not like one of those annoying discussions. He just
Yeah,
brings something totally random in that is funny a little bit, so that kind
yeah.
of thing. But I think it was a situation where we were having lunch, and I was sitting there with my colleague, and we were just eating. That's it. We were just not saying just love that. Because you
Yeah.
and our boss came in and was like, "Well, you 2 are awkwardly silent." And we both look at each other, me and my coworker, and she instantly replies with, "Yeah, well, we're eating."
There you go.
It's like
Yeah.
I mean, even at work, you have, like one thing that is uncomfortable for me is if I wanna go on lunch, I go in the room and I see the entire office is at once in the room eating lunch.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I know what you're gonna say.
I love to go I walk into the room and I'm like, "You know what? You are all nice people, and I know you all want to do this small talk thing, but could you please all just leave?" My first thought.
Dude, I feel that so hard, man. I feel that so hard. I know exactly what says. Sometimes you just want to be left alone, and
Yeah.
like it's different if it's your friends, right? It's different if it's your
Yeah.
close friends or people that you know, because then it's not weird. Like there's no small talk. But if it's like random people or people that you have to work with that you're not good friends with, you sit down and automatically small talk just starts, and you're just like, "Ugh, I just, I just fucking wanted to eat."
Uh,
But yeah, anyway, there's nothing wrong with silence. It's not awkward for me. I don't know why it's awkward for everybody else.
yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, back to the movie. So the aunt is having to have this discussion with this soccer mom is the only way that I know to explain what this woman is. She is
Yeah,
trying
soccer
to
mom fits, yeah.
yeah, she's trying to convince herself that her son is a little angel with a good heart.
Even though he's a complete fucking ass.
He's a fucking psycho, right?
I mean,
But
dude,
she's
this thing anything when you meet this kid, the mom says something to him like, "Oh, hi, baby," or whatever, and then the kid turns around and tells his mom to go fuck off.
I love that, dude. It's so great because it's so true. Like
I
she's
mean,
standing there having small talk with this woman, trying to explain to her and convince herself that her son is not a psycho. He's like, "Oh, he's such a good boy and he's got such a good heart." And then she says, like, don't forget your jacket, like you said, or something like that to the kid. And he turns around and says, Go fuck yourself."
I mean, yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I'm also somebody that often says things like this. I said these things to people or whatever. Also we're both still Americans. Even though I grew up in Germany, I still have the thing that I say fuck and shit in every second sentence. I still
Right.
have that. But still, I never once, dude, told my mom to go fuck herself. I mean, if it was like we were having a normal discussion and talking and joking on, yeah, but not like this. This is like a sincere go fuck yourself.
This would have gotten me grounded for a year.
Dude, I do not know how you can say that. No, I mean, sorry, but that shows, I mean,
Utter disrespect.
the kid is a fucking psycho, but also
He's a
it's just
psychopath.
like, I'm sorry, but this woman, I'm sorry, must have failed as a parent for your kid to turn out like that.
She did.
I mean, you have ultimately, in my opinion, failed as a parent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a little bit of that. We don't know the whole background story there, but
Of course.
it could also be that this kid is a fucking psychopath
Yeah.
because the things that he does here in this next scene are things that you would only do if you were psychopathic. And all the other kids are scared of him. Did you notice that too?
So it's out.
Yeah. Yeah. All the other kids are scared of him because they're all standing there in a group and every kid has to pair up with another kid for playtime and nobody wants to pair up with this kid. Like they try to pair him up with one person and that person goes to the teacher and whispers something in her ear and she's like, okay, well, no, you're not going to pair up with her. Why don't you pair up with Cady?" So now Cady has to pair up with this fucking psycho, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not exactly sure what these kids were pairing up for, and this part of the movie didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
It's, yeah,
But apparently they,
some mandatory fun thing they had to do.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
like go hide in the woods or some shit. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Something like that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you have to remember that Megan is sitting in the toy area stuffed between all these fucking stuffed animals, right?
Yeah.
She goes with Psycho Kid out into the woods.
No, actually, it was Cady that goes out with Psycho Kid in the woods and with Megan.
That's what I'm saying. Katie goes out to the yeah.
Yeah.
Katie goes out into the woods with yeah. Katie goes out into the woods with this kid. And you see Megan's eyes, and the only thing you see is her eyes and what she's seeing. And she sees this kid leaving with Katie into the woods, right?
Yeah.
Out of her vision. And then
Mhm.
you see Katie and this kid talking to each other. And as the kid is talking to her, like he didn't have good intentions in the first place. I don't remember what he was saying to her, but it was mean, right?
Yeah.
He looks over Katie's shoulder, and behind her, Megan is standing about 300 meters away. Like
Yeah.
she's no longer in the toy bin. She's standing there 300 meters behind Katie, watching this kid.
Mhm.
And this kid's like, "What the fuck is that?" And she goes, "Oh, that's Megan. That's my doll." And so the kid goes over to the doll, and he's like, "So what does she do?" And he like slaps her in the head. Megan doesn't do anything. She's just standing there, like not moving.
Yeah.
Smacks her in the head. Oh, she doesn't do shit. And then he kicks her and knocks her over on the ground. So Megan's laying on the ground. And then he goes, "Well, I mean, what are you gonna do if I do something to her? Or is she gonna do anything to me?" And Katie's like, "No." So he goes, "Okay," and picks the doll up and runs off with her. Right.
Yeah.
So Katie's running behind him, screaming, trying to get him to put Megan down. He puts Megan down on the ground and starts kicking the doll and taking her shoe off. Like you don't. This kid's gonna do something fucked up to this doll. You know he is.
Yeah, what the point is, the foreshadowing here is like, you think you're to yourself, "Oh, no. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please not what I think."
Yeah. It is. If it had gone on any longer, that's probably exactly what was going to happen. But he starts
Yeah.
removing articles of clothing from the doll. As this is happening, Megan reaches up, like she wakes up from whatever like static display she was, grabs the kid's fucking ear, and in this
Starts
version that
pulling
I
it.
saw,
Yeah.
she rips his ear off of his head, just like, and there's blood spurting everywhere. She has his ear in her hand, and he's
Yeah.
screaming. Right? He runs to try to get away from her, and gets close to the side of a hill, which why would you let kids play this close to an open road is one of the things that I had to ask myself, but whatever.
Well, kind of, I don't know, because they're stupid?
Yeah, adults are retarded. Oh, wait, I
Yeah.
can't say that. Adults are stupid. But he gets to kind of like a hill that's overlooking a road, and he looks back and he's holding the place on his head where his ear got ripped off, and he's looking around and he doesn't see Megan anywhere. And then she pops out from behind a tree and kicks him down the hill all the way down to the street. And when he
Yeah.
lands there, the fucking truck just barrel rolls right over this fucking kid. And also, if you watch the uncut scene, this scene is so much more brutal because you see the fucking car slam into this kid and he gets like spread all over the pavement. So it's fucking gory, right?
It's bad.
So effectively she kills this kid. Megan, this is Megan's second kill, right? And so
Yeah.
yeah, this is the
Yeah.
second one. Yeah. Because the dog counts as the first one.
But you also forgot the full scene when she ripped off his ear, Matt. No, this is the scene where she looks at him and is like, "This is the part where you run."
Oh, right. And isn't that taken from another movie?
I think it might be taken from another movie.
At least that phrase is, because I've heard
Yeah,
it
at least
before.
that phrase specifically. Did you see, like, the scene where Megan gets on all fours and starts chasing the kid?
Yes, yeah, I
Like,
forgot about that too. She does
yeah,
the werewolf to him. Yeah,
the werewolf move.
the
Yeah,
werewolf, yeah.
yeah,
It's cool because you haven't seen her move like this yet. I had forgotten that completely. She does start chasing after him like a werewolf.
yeah.
On all fours, like running like a dog and shit before she kills him.
Mhm.
Anyway, this kid is off in the street. It's a pretty cool death scene. And then Megan walks back over to Cady, picks her up, and they walk back to where all the other kids are like nothing happened. It's not clear to me if Cady realizes that she killed her
She knows something is.
or killed him.
You can see by Katie's behavior that she knows that something is up, but she does not really think that she killed her, because you can see like Megan analyzing Katie's facial behavior, and then she's like, you can see in Megan's behavior, emotions she has lit up, or she hogs off guilt, guilt or
Yeah,
whatever. So obviously Katie feel something, but
yeah,
still, I mean, shortly before that, she did the scene in the woods with the child care, whatever shit, or after that, you have like the scene with their neighbor, no, because obviously their neighbor assumes that Gemma did something to her dog. But this is
yes.
also something, I don't think Gemma does not strike me as the person that would actually harm an animal. She strikes me just as a person that does not have a problem with dogs or cats, likes them, but just doesn't want them in her own house.
No.
What's up?
Yeah, not a dog or cat person by any
No,
means.
no. I mean, but yeah, that's just, she just is a person that does not want them on her property or her house, but she does not generally have a problem with animals. And I don't think she
Yeah,
is a person that would harm any. But however,
yeah,
the cop knocks on their door and says, blah, blah, blah. We assume this or whatever. And then the neighbor hammers on their door, swearing at them or whatever. This is what leads to Megan now detecting the neighbor as a threat.
yes, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. No,
You
and
got
then
the
you have the
feeling that you got the feeling that the neighbor also probably told the cop that they killed the dog, right? And that's why the
problem.
cop's coming over. And he's like, I have to ask, but did you do anything to the dog? She's like, of course not. That dog gets into my yard all the time. The dog can get out anytime at once. It probably ran away, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, the neighbor comes knocking on the glass saying, I know you killed the dog, blah, blah, blah. Megan perceives that as a threat from the neighbor. And then the cycle continues. Like, you're fucked. If you do anything around this doll that could be perceived as a possible threat to this little girl, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. And like you said, it's nighttime now. Next scene, it's nighttime. Um, is sitting there's like a charging port area in Cady's bedroom where Megan is sitting. So at night she sits on this thing and it charges her. Cady says, did you do something to that boy today? Or something to that effect, right? Megan gets up off of the charging spot, comes over to her and sits down and says something to the effect of, I did whatever needed to be done to protect you because that's my job is to protect you.
Yeah.
And then starts singing another song to get her to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So she sings a song, Cady goes to sleep, and immediately Megan goes outside, but you don't see her leave the house. All you see is the neighbor next door walking through the streets with the dog's bowl, shaking the bowl so that the dog will hear it and calling the dog's name because she's still looking for her dog.
Yeah.
Then she hears the sound of her dog coming from her shed, so like her garage. So she thinks, oh shit, the dog is in the garage. So she goes into the garage. Come to find out, there's no dog in the garage. It's just Megan, and she's making the sound of the dog to get the woman to go in there.
Yeah.
This is another scene that was heavily cut in the theatrical release, but this scene's pretty violent. Megan jumps on her, grabs her head, bashes it into the concrete several times to where she's bleeding profusely, throws her on the ground, takes a big fucking it's like a big vat of it's acidic. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what it is. It's
Yeah.
some type of chemicals, right?
Yeah. Some
Hooks
kind of
it up to
acid.
hooks it up to the pressure washer and starts spraying this woman's face, right? And as she's spraying her face, the woman's face is coming off like in chunks, like pieces of her face are falling off. So you know that she killed this woman too, right?
Yeah.
Next day rolls around and the police, I don't know why, there's no time that passes in between this, or maybe I'm missing a scene. I don't know. But the cops or a detective shows back up at their house and you see the aunt standing outside talking to the detective. And he's like,
Yeah.
did you, do you know what happened to her? Did you hear anything last night?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's the aunt's like, no, I don't know anything about this. And this is kind of a funny scene because the detective goes, that's interesting because this is like the second time we've had a statement from you this week. And the aunt's like, are you saying that I had anything to do with this? And he's like, oh no, that's not what I mean. It's just coincidence because the kid that died the other day, we think he was murdered because he was down in the street, got run over, but we realized his ear was up in the grass like 300 meters away from where he died. So somebody
Yeah.
killed him. That should have been a huge red flag to the aunt, but she completely misses it. Did you notice that?
Okay, so I think that's where she starts to suspect it. Huh?
Really?
Because this is where she also you can instantly see that she starts to act weird, suspicious towards Megan. This is where it starts for
Okay.
the aunt.
Okay. Okay.
How I understood it, yeah.
You're probably right. I didn't feel like she caught on at all. Like she might have thought it was weird, but she wouldn't thought it was Megan. What's the next scene? That'll tell us. I can't remember what comes next.
The next scene is it cuts after that, I think now to the launching thing where they're getting to war. There was a thing in between you have with the lady from child service saying she's getting way too much attached to Megan or whatever. And there's also mention that the launch is coming up and blah blah blah. And then he sees where then now they're going to the launch. But at what point I'm not sure.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mike, isn't this the scene inside the house where the aunt basically confronts Megan for the first time?
Could be that it's that scene, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is actually where you get it, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. because shortly after that, Megan's come in and the aunt confronts her, starts asking her questions. Did you harm him? Did you do anything to
Right.
him or whatever? This is where Megan says, like, I hope not, because then we would be in
Yeah.
serious trouble.
Right, it's so fucking cool. I love this scene just because of that.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is too, like, she doesn't directly go out of her way to confront her. Like, she's just working at her computer,
Yeah.
and then she hears Alexa's voice or whatever the name for Alexa
Eliza.
is. Yeah, and the voice says, "Would you like me to play your normal nighttime list?" And she's like, "Alexa, why are you asking me to do that? It's not this time." And the reason it's doing that is because she's going through her computer on Megan's files to see if she can watch a video through Megan's eyes of what happened that day with that boy. And
Yeah.
she realizes that those files at those times of his death are erased. And so now she thinks, fuck, this thing probably killed her and then erased the evidence from her own memory, right? From the file disk.
Yeah.
And that's when the Alexa is asking her if she wants if she wants her to play her nighttime list, and she's like, "Why are you doing that?" Closes her computer screen on her laptop, and Megan is standing right in front of her, like on the other side of the fucking laptop. And then she has no choice but to confront her. She's like, "Did you do something to that boy?" And
Yeah.
this is where the viewer truly realizes that this AI is not just sentient, but it's also deviant, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she says, "Did you kill the boy?" And just like you said, Mike, she's like, well, I hope not, because since you're the programmer, we would both be in a lot of trouble, wouldn't we?" Which is like, shit, dude, a fucking murdering robot that knows that it's being manipulative. But because this thing is still a machine and has protocols that it has to follow, and the aunt knows that. So she takes a pen and holds it up to her face and says, "Megan, please look at this pen." And that's a symbol in the programming that makes Megan look a certain way. So she holds up the pen, Megan looks that way, and that
Yeah.
lets her shut her off.
Mhm.
She shuts off her shut off switch behind her, turns her off completely.
Yeah.
Um, what happens next, Mike? I cannot
Then
remember.
she wraps her up in bubble wrap and
Right.
duct tape, throws her into the car, grabs Katie, and they both drive towards the company. And this is where Katie is flipping out because she wants Megan to be there, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, what are you doing to Megan? And Katie is trying to, no, Gemma is trying to convince Katie that there's something wrong with Megan. She has to be tested or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. Because this is where she drives directly to work. And this is like shortly before the launch or whatever. Huh?
Yeah.
And she brings Megan up to the laboratory, huh? And tells her basically what she suspects.
Yeah.
That she suspects that Megan killed these people. And her colleagues are like, no, no, what? No. Of course, nobody would believe this in the beginning. No,
No, of course not.
but
I
she
wouldn't.
yeah, yeah, of course, but a lot of people would. But she just brings everything up that happened. But you can see that her coworkers are very suspicious. They can see the way Katie is acting towards the doll or whatever. Then they decide to basically lock her up. And then you have like a montage of several different things. Like they showed the marketing they had towards Megan, like they're doing kind of a release party. Her boss is being a typical asshole because he wants everything to be full or whatever. You see a short video of, I mean, on a big screen of Katie saying shit about Megan or whatever, and that's kind of the thing that is going on there.
Yeah. And like you said, this is where the boss is acting like a total asshole because he wants that place to be filled up. They have an entire atrium of this
Yeah,
workspace that they have a bunch of chairs. He's like, "This looks like it's gonna be a fucking AA meeting. I want people here. This needs to get full." His kiss ass that he has, his brown noser, is like, "Well, maybe we could fill the rest of the seats with kids. Like, maybe we could just use children, and that would be a good PR way." And the guy's like, "You know what? No, what I want you to do is go downstairs and get me a fucking latte." Like, he's just fucking jerk. Go downstairs and get a latte. And so the guy says, "Okay," and he leaves to go downstairs to get him a drink.
yeah, yeah,
At the same time, the main boss goes, oh, no, he tells the guy to go upstairs and get him a drink while he goes
yeah,
downstairs, right? As he's going downstairs, it cuts back to the room where Megan is, and Megan is being hooked up to get ready for the demo. And the two workers that are in there working on the programming for the demo realize that she is actually controlling the computers that they're working on. So now they realize that she's possibly sentient, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the female worker tells the guy, "Hey, go pull the plugs on the back of her and get her disconnected from the system immediately." He's trying to disconnect the cables from the doll, and he's doing this cautiously because he realizes that she's sentient just like the other woman does. So he's trying to
Yeah.
sneak around and pull the cords out of Megan before
They
she
noticed
can stop.
Well, you forgot to mention they noticed that Megan was sentient because Megan started locking them out of her program, but she shouldn't be
Yeah,
able
that's
to
what I
do it.
said. She was controlling the computers that they were
Yeah.
working on.
Oh, right, exactly, yep,
But
yeah.
that's how she was locking them out of the programs that they needed to get into to be able to control her in the first place. So he pulls all the cords out, and right about when he's about to get the last one out of her head,
Yeah.
she reaches up, grabs his hand, pulls one of the cables that's holding her up off of her hand, slings it around his neck, and releases it. So he basically gets hung right there on the station that she was strung up on. So he goes up in the air with this thing around his neck, probably like 5 feet off the ground. So he's unable to get out of it. He's choking to death. She hops down and she does something to the woman. I just can't remember what it is.
Well, no, she
She doesn't
grabs the
kill her.
guy. No, she doesn't kill her. She grabs the guy by the neck, throws him halfway across the room. I think she knocks the woman. No, she knocks the woman down and stabs the gas tank for it to explode.
Ah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
knocks her down on the ground and then stabs a gas tank in the room, which is
yeah,
smart.
yeah.
And then as she stabs the gas tank, she runs out. So we're watching her run out while they're in there. And then something ignites that gas. I just don't know what it is. Do you remember?
Good question.
Because the room explodes. I remember that.
No, not the room explodes. You see like a fire. You see an explosion, but you can also see that not the entire room explodes. I have the scene right now up in front of. Oh shit! What is it that causes it to explode? Did you see it explode? No, that is what I'm not sure about. No, but I have to.
I don't
Okay,
know. I
yeah.
can't remember. All I know is that
Well, now I know what happens. No,
okay.
Megan hangs the guy, and then the other woman grabs a saw and tries to free him. And starts to saw the metal wire through. What she manages to do, nah? They said there's flammable material. She stabs the thing, keeps walking out. While Megan is walking out, it just explodes. You don't see what
Okay.
ignites it. It just explodes.
All right. Okay. Well, that's weird, but all right. Okay.
Mhm.
So something makes the room explode. I have no idea. I guess that's one of those scenes where when you're watching it, you just accept it.
I didn't notice it. I did not really notice it. I mean, you see there's electric surges. It could be that it was a spark.
Yeah, yeah, like a spark. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that probably could have caused.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Well, either way,
we have to assume it. Yeah.
this doesn't kill those two people because it's not big enough of an explosion, but it puts them out of commission long enough for her to do whatever else she's got to do, right? Because, and I assume that's because she's still hooked up to the network in some way. She can kind of see what's going on the cameras around this building where she is. So she can
Mhm.
see that the main boss, the asshole jerk, stupid fucking asshole, is downstairs, all the way downstairs. So she
Yeah.
goes downstairs too. And this is like the most famous scene in the movie. This is like what they use to show everybody remembers this part. Uh,
Yeah. Mhm.
and it's a little bit of a Stanley Kubrick angle because this exact same kind of scene was shot in A Clockwork Orange, if you know what that movie is, and then The Shining. So
Yeah. Yeah.
long corridor, and then things appear at the end of the corridor, right? So
Mm.
he's standing there wanting to walk back to the elevator, and at the end is Megan standing there. And when he sees her, it's creepy because she's just standing there and he knows what she is, but he doesn't quite know what's going on. And
Yeah.
then she starts fucking dancing. And it's not like a normal dance. It's like kind of creepy and seductive at the same time, which is a little bit
But
twisted.
this is a cool scene, but by the way,
Yeah,
though, because she does flips and everything, and instantly it
yeah,
ends with her grabbing the paper cover and ripping it off. I mean, this scene is cool. It is. It
yeah.
is. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like this scene right here, not just because it has 2 kills in it, but just the setup is great because
Yeah. Yeah.
she's dancing, she's obviously the a doll of a little girl, and she's dancing slightly seductively, which is very off-putting,
Yeah.
and then she
Yeah.
ends the dance by grabbing the big fucking paper cutter like you're talking about, pulls it off, and starts walking after this guy like Jason Voorhees. Like,
Yeah.
he's booking it down the hallway because he wants to get to the elevator, and you see several shots of him running, like, super
Yeah.
fast, and it flashes back to her, and she's just walking with this paper cutter, just like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
He gets to the end of the hall where the elevator is. He's pushing the button furiously to get the elevator to open.
Yeah.
When it opens, his coworker or his subordinate, his brown noser, right, has come downstairs to get him a latte. So he's coming down in the elevator as the boss comes in the elevator.
Yeah.
So when the doors open, his subordinate sees him running from the doll and starts hitting the button again to close the door because he doesn't want any fucking part of that. The door is about to close. The boss grabs the door and opens it. And the minute he opens the door, you see the fucking paper cutter go straight through his chest, right? He goes through his chest.
Yeah.
There's a big explosion of blood all over the subordinate in the elevator. So the entire wall behind him is covered in blood. He's covered in blood. She pulls the paper cutter out, knocks that guy's body to the side, and then walks inside the elevator and looks at the guy and says, well, do you think that you can live with yourself? And this entire thing was basically cut from the theatrical part, right? She looks at him and she says, do you think you can live with yourself? And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, you tried to steal all the blueprints from about me and how they made me, and you tried to sell it to the highest bidder. And then when your boss found out that you did that, you killed him in cold blood. Do you think that you can live through that? Or do you think that you would commit suicide right here because of all the terrible things you've done? And he's like, I want to live. I want to live. And as he's saying that, she takes the thing and just fucking right into his neck. And there's blood everywhere. It's a fucking great scene. And I hate that that was not in the theatrical release because it makes this kill so unimportant.
Yeah. Yeah.
But watch the uncut version. It's much better. So this is like what kill? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is kill number 5 for Megan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She takes the elevator that she just killed them in to the top floor in the exact same area where this entire tech demo is about to go off.
The bottom floor. Yeah, not the top floor.
Huh?
You take it to the
Bottom floor.
bottom.
Yeah. Bottom floor. The elevator doors open. She gets out of there as quick as she can so nobody sees her leave. But one woman that's up in front for the tech demo looks back and sees the 2 bodies in the elevator and all this blood that's just fucking all over the elevator. So she screams. Everybody at the conference notices that there's 2 murdered people. While this is happening, Megan can also apparently control cars now too because she's walking down the stairs. I
Yeah.
think it's like a fucking brand new Corvette or something like that that's at the bottom of the
Yeah.
stairs. She looks at it, she blinks her eyes once, and the car doors open. So we know that she gets in the car, right? Flash forward to back at the house. The aunt and Cady are back at the house, and I'm not sure why they're back at the house because shouldn't they have been there for the tech demo?
No, but there's a scene that showed that Jenna had a discussion with Cady, and because Cady was not ready to get over Megan or whatever, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And this is also where you just have generally a short discussion between Cady and Jenna, because Jenna brings up the thing that she wasn't there and that she knows that it was bad, and she pretty much fucked everything up, and that she just wanted Cady to know that she'll be there for her and that kind of discussion. But basically what she should have done from the beginning. And
Okay.
she just recognized that she just wanted to go home with Cady, and that's why Gemma took Cady and just went home with her. She left the entire launch to begin with.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So they were.
Yeah.
Um, And I think at this point, the car pulls up outside with Megan in it. Megan comes into the house, and there's this kind of confrontation between her and the
Yeah.
or no, they go to sleep again, right? Because they didn't hear anything about what happened at the
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
They
no,
went.
yeah, they go to
Yeah.
sleep and think that they've left Megan back at the office. The aunt wakes back up because she hears the car door shut, walks back into the living room to find Megan standing there, right?
Yeah.
And so Megan starts like basically smarting off to her. She starts telling her what a terrible job she was doing, being an aunt to Cady and how she didn't care about her and all this stuff. And Gemma's not taking this. So she takes up the pen again, which is the pen trick, and
Yeah.
says, Megan, can you look at this pen? Megan looks at the pen and smacks it out of her hand this time. Like she's
Yeah.
fully become sentient at this point. When she smacks the pen out of her hand, she starts to go off about um, she's so stupid because she was so busy thinking about trying to make money and not caring about Cady that she didn't care about the program that she inserted into this doll.
Yeah.
She explains, by the time I realized everything and understood humans and understood what Cady needed, you were so self-absorbed with what was going on at work that I basically had to become a full-time mother for this girl. And this part is completely different too, because
Yeah.
in the theatrical version, it's not as hard as what she says here. But in the cut that I saw, she's like, so now I'm going to be Katie's mother. I'm going to raise her. And if you try to stop me, I'm going to rip your head off your fucking shoulders, is what she tells her. Those exact words. And you're like, holy shit. So she's got her hands around Gemma's neck at this point, and she's about to kill her. Like, that's what she's about to do. And at that point, Cady walks in and sees what's going on, right? And you think this movie could have gone two directions, Mike. Like this
Mhm.
could have gone to where Cady accepted the fact that she wanted to kill her aunt because she doesn't really like her aunt that much anyway. And you think
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen, but that's not what happens. I think at this point, Cady gets the robot, right?
What? No, this is first you have like this you have a short
There's
fight
a
scene
fight.
between Gemma and Megan. No, this goes through the halfway through the house or whatever. Megan just tells, "Oh, you can go back to bed. You don't have to worry about anything or
Right.
whatever." And that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that kind of scene. However, this leads to I think the aunt runs through the hallway back into her room. Not entirely sure. I think she was trying to get to the rope. No, she was trying to get to the shack because she wanted to get some kind of a
yeah,
weapon.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember now.
This is, and she also has this short showdown with Megan, where she takes like this saw and and slaps to her,
Yeah,
tries to
like
cut to
cuts
her
through her
head.
face from yeah.
Do- doesn't work, but however, Megan has now this half of her hair gone and this big scar over her head. Duh. And Megan takes a pen and says, Gemma, please look at this pen. And then
I love that part.
this scene is great because it shows what Megan is planning to do. She does one cut and you will be paralyzed. That
Yep.
way, you won't be able to do anything anymore, and then I can still keep you around.
She
So
basically wants
Megan,
to lobotomize her. Yeah.
yeah. However, this is then where Cady stays now in the back door, and Megan turns around, tries to calm her, or whatever, because what should I do? You can see like Megan's view of Cady again, where she's like, yeah, trust or whatever. Cady comes into the room, says something, and then she just see her doing this, activating the robot
The
because she
robot.
has the robot on. Exactly. This is where the robot comes in. Where you have like this is all pretty cool scene. She
This is a
has
cool
like Katie's controlling this robot now, and with the robot is now just beating the shit out of me.
oh, it's
Grabs
fucking great.
Megan
The
by
robot body slams her once too. It's
yeah,
fucking great.
let me
Like
please
one
die
hand
this
body
one.
slam.
Yeah. Yeah. However, this Megan, the robot picks up Megan, holds her in the air. And this is where Megan starts to sing a song again. That,
Yep.
of course, I think her and Cady. Then after that, Cady, with the robot, takes Megan and rips her into two parts and throws them throughout the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very reminiscent of Aliens, where the robot gets pulled in half by the
Yeah.
queen. You
Yeah.
remember that,
Yeah.
Bishop?
Yeah.
I just thought that was kind of a callback to it because it
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
like it, like scene per scene, exactly how it happened in Aliens. But yeah, she throws one piece of her one way, one piece the other way. The two of them think it's over, but then Megan's other half gets up and starts attacking again, right?
Yeah.
She's kind of crawling like a spider because she doesn't have any legs, and she jumps on Cady and wants to take Cady out because now she realizes that Cady wanted to kill her. And she says, "You inconsiderate, ungrateful little bitch," is what Megan says to her. Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, and Katie's not having it. Katie like rips off her faceplate,
mhm.
and you see the same brain in her that the robot had at the beginning of the movie because you got to see the robot's face.
Yeah.
And that big robot that body slammed her had the same brain, and it was right here. And she remembers telling Katie that. So Katie grabs a fucking screwdriver and stabs the brain of this thing right in the middle and just kills it. Right.
Well, actually, no, you see the ripping off was Gemma that rips off Megan's face or whatever, and she's fighting
Ah,
with
right.
her. Megan goes an overhand, holding Anne on the floor, choking her. This is where Cady takes a screwdriver and just rams it into her brain, instantly
Yeah.
killing.
Yeah. Yeah. Or at least we think.
Yeah, we think that.
Yeah. So that's the end of Megan. And then they both like head out the front of the house because they want to get as far away from like that robot as they can. So they leave out
Yeah.
and we see them leaving out the front door and we see the house inside as they leave. And there's always been this little tiny like Alexa robot that was in the house that's
Yeah,
looked
yeah.
around and stuff. And as they leave, its head lifts up and looks towards the door because Megan is basically still controlling this thing. So Megan is not completely dead.
No.
And that's the end of the film.
Mhm.
Now, so here's the thing. We already know that she lives and she does more twisted shit because there is a part 2 to this.
Yeah, but I have no idea how the second part turns out.
Apparently, it's better than this one. At
Really?
least that's what I've heard. People have said
Okay.
Megan 2.0 is awesome, and there's a
Mhm.
lot of people that said it's trash. So it's a toss up. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Me neither.
So we might have to do that one because I actually like this, even though it's a carbon copy of Child's Play reboot.
Yeah, well, what should I say? I mean, I like the movie as well. I mean, there's a lot I can complain about it, of course. But generally, I thought the movie was good. I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I don't know why it got as much attention as it did. I think because it was a phenomenon for a little while. Like when this thing came out,
Yes. Yes.
everybody was fucking talking about this movie. And I really do think it's because they were smart enough to do a PG-13 version of it so that more people saw it. And that's
Yeah.
what generated the buzz. But had it been the R-rated version that I saw in the theater, I don't think it would have been as popular.
Yeah.
But
Probably. Yeah.
fucking great movie, not original at all, but well done. Well done enough for me to watch part 2 because I kind of want to see where it goes.
Well, I would say, yeah. I'm not opposed to watching the second part, but I'm
Yeah.
also not really that eager to see. I thought in
No.
general it was not. I thought it was in general. It was a good popcorn flick. It was
Yeah.
a movie that, you know, for the podcast, I would have watched it. Okay, Sunday or Saturday night. I don't have any plans. Okay, what movie can I watch?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of movie this would have been for me. This would have not been something I would have went to the movies for. I mean, I probably would have been that disappointed. I'm not really that kind of guy that walks out of movies feeling like, oh, that was a waste of money. But this was never really a movie that interested me much that I watched it in theaters.
Yeah.
And
I
I
mean, I
never
didn't see
really
it
had
in
it.
theaters either.
Yeah, I never really had it much on my radar. And I've already mentioned the reasons very, I would say,
Yeah.
thoroughly. I very mentioned.
Thoroughly. Yes, we were very thorough about what you thought about this movie and why. And that's actually most of the episode, but I think it's a good discussion because that conversation is going to come back again because there's definitely 2 or 3 other movies that are carbon copies of other films, and When we get to those, I'll bring them up, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, you're right." But they're great movies. I mean, let's face it,
Yeah.
every fucking Scream film is a carbon copy of some fucking slasher movie, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course, obviously. How should I say it? I was never really a fan of Scream. And for me, how should I say it? Scream was just way too much a parody of slashers for me to take it seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not meant to
And
be taken seriously.
yeah, and even after Scary Movie came out, I love Scary Movie, but Scary Movie totally removed any possibility for me to take this movie seriously. And by the
Yeah,
way, it's just like Scream. What was it? Scream 7 was the last one, the one we done an episode on.
that was terrible. Yes,
Oh God, I mean, I thought the movie was awful.
it was terrible.
Apparently, the critics liked it, and it got a lot of really good ratings. And
Are you serious? I
look
thought
at the
that movie
ratings.
got slaughtered.
Look, no, well, I don't know. I mean, okay, let's just check it out. Okay, let's now
Okay.
let's just
There's
yeah,
no way that movie got good reviews. That movie was terrible. God, that was the worst one.
dude.
That was
Alien
the
Earth got
first bad
dude,
Scream movie.
dude. Look at the ratings. Alien Earth got good ratings from the critics. Okay, okay.
Well, user
I'm
rating, user rating.
about what?
User rating is what I usually look at. Like critics, I couldn't give a fuck. It's like the user ratings. I think it's what is it? Not
Well,
Rotten
okay, yes,
Tomatoes,
you're
but what's the
right.
other one?
It has a 5.5 out of 10. I can't see the difference between.
That's pretty
Oh,
bad.
it does have Metascore. It has a very, very bad
Yeah.
score. Yeah, yeah. Prime Video. Okay, good. It does. Ooh, Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I want to see Rotten Tomato. Well, okay, okay. I take back what I said. I probably getting this mixed up with another movie, but Rotten Tomatoes. Now, this is the thing. No, Rotten Tomatoes has a bad uh critic scores, but 74 percent from the user scores.
That's fucking weird.
But still 74% is only, like average. Uh, uh,
Okay. I can't believe anybody gave that movie a good review. That was awful.
yeah.
Awful.
Then look for Megan. I'm interested in Megan.
Yeah, look
Okay,
up
I don't know.
Megan and see what that's got, because I'm curious. But I mean, to be honest, Mike, it is two totally different versions of the film. I wish they'd have just released the uncut version in the theaters.
Come on, Megan,
It'd be a much
Megan,
better movie.
Megan. Okay, wow. Okay, Megan actually got a 93% rating, but I don't know the difference now between critics and user scores. And I'm only looking at Rotten Tomatoes now. So but overall, the overall sense on okay. It has a 93% critics rating and 78% user rating. Now, this is what I'm going to look up. See, could be that it has changed in recent years.
Yeah, they tend to
Child,
do that.
huh?
They tend to do that.
What Aubrey Plaza was in Child's Play, the remake? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was she the mom? No.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I hated the movie so much that I can't remember, but I love Aubrey
However,
Plaza.
this is the point. Okay, this is the point that bring it up. Not that I'm going to bring user ratings. Okay, it's like that's one thing, but the critics, 208 reviews, gave it a 64%, and this is what aggravates me. I can pull up multiple of these critics, by the way, that are equally the same critics.
Yeah.
Huh? Now, fans is one thing. That's one thing. But the critics, I'm like, God, it fucking aggravates the shit out of me that they specifically gave this movie a 64% and they give Megan a 93%. Both of these movies, I mean, watch it, Matt. Watch it again now.
Yeah.
No?
Okay.
With plot, characters, execution, narrative, way it's filmed and everything, no, are identical.
Okay.
There are major
I'll have
differences
to go
you can
back and
see.
watch it with less
Yeah,
hate in my
and
heart.
the Child's Play remake, you can say, is like the toxic friend that overdoes everything. Megan is like the overprotective psychopath. There are differences. I'm not saying that they're like
Yeah.
identical.
Not 1-to-1, but it's fucking
But
extremely
it's
close.
like, for me, if you are a professional critic and you rate these movies, there is no way at all you can give Child's Play a bad rating and Megan a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with you on that.
As a fan, being disappointed because, of course, it's a remake. They totally changed the backstory of Chucky or whatever. Okay, I get that point. That's absolutely fair, and I'm fine with that. And I'm only talking about critics now, official critics.
Yeah. Yep.
You watch the movie now, and literally, Matt, tell me that these movies are not identical.
Okay. I might actually be able to convince the wife to watch it tonight. So we'll see. I'll go give it another watch, Mike, just for you. Just so I
mean,
can say yes, you're right, or no, you're wrong. Because I can barely remember what happened, to be honest
You
with
probably disagree with me, but just like what I read, Matt, I mean, just like I said at the beginning of this episode, was literally the
plot
plot
points
summary
are exactly the same. Yeah.
of Child's Play 2019, just I swapped the names out.
Yep. I'll go watch it and let you know.
But
Cool.
however, Megan's a
So
great
our next film is not about an evil AI, right?
No, well, I hope not. This is like the second
it's
movie.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
True. Yes, exactly. Nightmare on Elm Street 3. That was the movie. Exactly.
Dream Warriors, I think, is the name of it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So stick around. We're gonna butcher another Freddy Krueger flick, and don't take our word for it. Go watch Megan the uncut version. You can get it on Google TV. I think is where I got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got anything else you want to say about Megan?
No, I've said enough.
Okay. All right. In that case, catch us next time. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Until then, I'm Matt.
Hi, Mike.
We'll see you guys next time.
See you later. Bye.
The black skies, the desert side. Stay in some